Hey, how you doing? My name's Joanna. I've been appointed to explain the Canadian position surrounding the current possible negotiations of the USMCA. Now, before I start and before I go any deep into that theory, and I'm going to use small words because I know who I'm dealing with in this current US administration, I want everybody to understand and maybe come to terms with the fact that the original USMCA, the agreement that Donald Trump is currently condemning as the worst free trade and economic agreement ever negotiated, he did that. He did that. Did he tell you he didn't do it? He did that. So while we're going into everything, let's also be aware that this horrible deal that he thinks has actually been created, he was the architect. Okay, first and foremost, let's talk about protected Canadian dairy. Now, Trump says he's not willing to negotiate anything at all unless Canada concedes their dairy market. Why? He thinks it's disgusting that we put 250% tariffs on incoming U.S. dairy that competes with local markets. Now, before I go any further than this, I need you guys to understand something. It's not the tariffs that's stopping U.S. dairy from coming into Canada. You want to know what it is? The quality. We, as Canadians, have a high expectation on the quality and the health regulations that go into dairy. So we put these high expectations on the dairy. And once you hit a certain quota, you then pay tariffs. Guess what? Canadians have never had to fight with American dairy farmers because your standards are so low. So up your standards and we'll talk about the tariffs. But as for right now, that demand from Donald Trump is a no. And that comes directly from Mark Carney. I'm just the messenger here, guys, right? So just listen before you make any other sort of determinations. Number 2, the Gordie Howe International Bridge. Again, this bridge and the negotiations around building this bridge happened between 2 leaders, Justin Trudeau and Donald Trump. So Donald Trump is now demanding, this is a horrible deal for the United States. My guy, you did it. The way it works is Donald Trump's demanding 50% ownership of the bridge straight off the hop. The original deal looked like this. Canada was going to pay for the construction of the entire bridge, and as Canada pays for it, they will then use the tolls gained from people going across that bridge to pay the bridge off. Once the bridge is paid off, Canada is going to share the profits because we're nice with Michigan. So, completely fair deal. Trump's demand of 50% ownership, it's a hard no. Digital media laws. He wants all digital media laws repealed, all right? There's 2 parts to this. Number 1, the Online Streaming Act. And this Online Streaming Act that the Canadian Parliament passed requires companies like Netflix and other streaming companies to invest a particular percentage into Canadian programming and content. You need that in Canada, and to be honest, if we don't get that, you don't get things like Heated Rivalry. Are you willing to give that up? Trump, I know you watched it. You don't want to give that up. Okay, I'll push that one aside. Also under the digital media laws, he wants the Online News Act repealed. This is a very, very simple act that says if you are going to use news sources and other creative forms on your streaming app and on your digital app, whether it's Instagram, whether it's Twitter, whatever it is, you need to pay the person who actually did the investigative journalism or the creative endeavor. Isn't that fair? Isn't that capitalism? I understand you guys just want to take everything. That's your gut reaction. But I'm going to give you a Mark Carney hard no. Number 3, you also want to restrict Chinese influence. Listen, you're scaring the heck out of us up here. You're saying that if we do deals with China, the first thing they're going to do is cancel the Stanley Cup. Are you okay? I'm serious. Are you okay? Because that kind of logic is wild and really leaning towards a level of dementia. You're saying that you want 100% tariff on Canada, period, across the board, if they actually do trade deals with China specifically surrounding EVs. We're taking in about 50,000 cars. Mark Carney would like to tell you in clear terms, say it with me, no, we're going to do that. We'll keep playing hockey. You can keep pretending that you guys play hockey better than us. Number 5, you're also big mad that provinces have taken U.S. alcohol off the shelves after you randomly put as many tariffs as you possibly could on the Canadian market in order to bring us to heel and force a political and economic outcome that you actually liked. Our answer is simple. We'll put your crappy beer back on our shelves as soon as you take away the tariffs. So let me say it again, and I know it's becoming redundant, but I think it's worth saying no. And finally, number 6, we favor Canadian suppliers when building public works in Canada. So we're going to use Canadian steel. We are going to use Canadian aluminum. We are going to use Canadian companies. We are going to favor them to do those jobs. And you think that's discriminatory? Do you not have a whole policy that says buy American policy across federal agencies and military contracts? Isn't that you? So I'm going to say it one more time, and I'm going to want you guys to say it in unison so we're all on the same page. What is it, Trump? No.